Greetings everyone, welcome to Advanced, and this game is going to be one epic game because with the white pieces we have current reigning world champion Gukesh. With the black pieces we have Maxime Vachier-Lagrave, a really strong French grandmaster, and this game is one amazing game because Gukesh had a very fantastic D2 of Blitz. He got 3.5 out of 4. Then he faced Linear Dominguez, and in time trouble he made a mistake. He lost the match. Then he went Fabi. He's had a very nice score up until now from last few tournaments. He's beating Fabi or drawing against Fabi, but in that tournament again due to time trouble he was able to lose the game against Fabi. Otherwise he could have just gotten a very amazing score in Blitz. But now what happened is now he's facing Maxime and he wants to really win this game. So without further ado, let's start with this game. I'm really excited to show you this one. It's full of tactical brilliancies. Here we have d4 by Gukesh, knight to f6, bishop to f4, g6 and e3, going for bishop to g7, h3 and now just d6. It's Indian game, or also you could transpose it into the London system. Knight to f3, castles, knight bd2, c7, c5 and just c3, queen to b6, knight to c4 and just queen to c7, just attacking the queen moving back, bishop to e2, bishop to e6, and now just going for rook to c1, b5, but now just knight c to d2, a6, e4, and now this e4 is a very strong move. And it's not strong as per the engine, but when you understand that you want to really win this game, this is the move to play, because now you have to understand that you want to take more space and you want to beat black. Here queen to b7, but now just comes this d5. We have this bishop back to c8, which is, well, not best of moves, but there is no other move as available as well. If you go there, then you hinder the development of this knight. You're going to play a move like that, and that's just passive. So here just castles, but knight bd7 was played. We have b4, but now just going for rook to e8, a4, e5. Now e5 is a very bad move in this position, but the only move that wins the game is d captures on c6 en passant. And here after rook captures, you have to understand that there is only one move in this position. You cannot give up the pawn directly, but if you want to give it up, you have to do it in style. And the move is knight to g5. First you attack the rook so that rook cannot capture. Obviously you don't want to give up the exchange, so rook goes back. Now you play bishop captures on d6, and you grab the central pawn, and you don't want to lose this pawn, so you just capture. But then you get this position where centrally you're very strong. Even this is coming. The knight can be remaneuvered. Queen is coming into the game. You can trade more pawns, and you can go into an endgame with the pieces being stuck like that. You could even push this pawn and threaten so many things. It's just a very beautiful position for white, and in Gukesh's hands it would be winning, even if you're playing against Maxime Vachier-Lagrave. But here after e5, he played bishop back to e3 because I think he thought that there would be maybe too much pressure on the e4 pawn. But then again, here just c4, taking more space towards the queen side. But now rook to a1. We have knight to f8, queen to c2, but just bishop to d7. Now just going for rook to a3, doubling up on towards the queen side, knight to h5, but now just comes rook f to a1. Now you have to understand that Gukesh is playing spectacular chess. What he's trying to do is basically set up an attack towards the queen side. Your queen is already eyeing this, rook is already eyeing this, bishop is already eyeing this. So you cannot develop here, neither can you defend it that very well. So he's forcing Maxime Vachier-Lagrave to actually try and attack towards the king side, and only then he'll be able to manage his pieces much more efficiently. So that's the idea that he's going with. And if Maxime goes for it, he doesn't have that much in this position, but Maxime tries to. He goes for knight to f4, but now just comes bishop back to f1, and we have f5, but a captures, and a beautiful move, rook to a7. Now you're going to be taking way more space. Here just rook captures, attacking the queen moves, and queen to a2. Now there are a lot more ideas in the position, and you have to be very careful. Knight to d4 was played by Maxime, and you might just want to just relinquish your control of this knight that it has over your position, and but it could backfire. You have to understand this bishop is a very nice defender, although these moves just look very scary. And even with the knight being there was always this problem of actually just pushing this. So that's why you moved it here, and now you're going to push it, and there's going to be an attack coming, and this bishop is going to be very crucial to hold that attack back. But here after bishop to b6, now you have to understand this bishop to b6 is a very beautiful move, simply because the fact that this would have come with a tempo on the bishop, but now bishop goes here, so there is no tempo, so you can actually do something about that. Maybe bishop captures. Now you won't capture because bishop is defending it. But now here after bishop to h6, lot more ideas become available, because now comes this very beautiful move, bishop to c7. Now that's the best move in this position, targeting the weak part of the pawn chain. And here g5 was played. Maxime is going all in towards the attacking the queen side, and the best way to play this is very difficult to find. This is a very great defender that you are going to be needing for the future, but you have to understand right now you're the one attacking, and when you're attacking you don't care about these pieces. So what you do is bishop caps on d3, you take away the attacker, and after this you play bishop captures, and if g4 comes in this position you go knight captures on e5, and that's the idea. After g captures, now you play bishop caps on f8. The position is so rich, now you go rook captures, even giving it up, rook captures, but now comes this beautiful d6, opening up an attack and also going for mating pattern. King to h8, queen to f7, and no matter what you do, you're getting mated in 5 moves. Rook to e7, now the pawn captures. You cannot capture here, but because I think this would be mate. So here just bishop captures, but now after rook captures blocks, but this would be checkmate, and that would be pretty unfortunate. But now here in this position after g5, none of this happened, none of this craziness happened, but here just bishop captures happened on this d6 pawn, but now just comes this g4, and now how are you holding off the attack? Position is still very much winning for Gukesh, but Gukesh still needs to play it correctly. H captures, F captures, and knight to h4 was played, and Maxime realizes that he has nothing in this position. There is no way Maxime could do anything. Everything is being held off, everything is being cut off. Knight can jump to f5 if the position requires it. You can even go for this, but Maxime in this position goes for a very amazing tal move. And I'm going to ask you to pause the video and look at this position and see it from the perspective of black and try to find a move that maybe just try and saves the game for you. So all you want to be tal, just go for it and try to find the tal move. So congratulations to everyone who's able to find the tal move. The tal move in this position is knight captures on f2. It's the best poker move ever. Like, you just see this move and you're like, should I capture, should I not capture, and you just burn time. Gukesh didn't burn time. Gukesh like played it in 10 seconds. He's very much low on the clock already. But here after king captures, now queen to d8, just going for here, and g3 is the best move, but now comes this check and you are just threatening to pick up the bishop. But it doesn't matter, it absolutely doesn't matter, because there is no way queen can do anything. This is the poker move. Hey, you have to find this king to e2. This is the only move that doesn't lose. And even if you go for queen captures now, just rook to a6. Rook to a6 is the only move in this position that wins the game, because here after queen to e7 you just pick up the bishop and you've lost all your pieces. There is nothing in this position that you can do. Next queen is coming back, you're gonna get this knight settled, bishop as well, maybe just get the queen into the game and you're gonna be completely winning. But after queen to f6, I think Gukesh got really, really scared, because he didn't find maybe a right way to play this, and he went for this knight to f5, but immediately just bishop captures, and after e captures, just going for this beautiful move. And now the position is actually a draw, but it's only a draw if you're able to find the right moves, and the only right move in this position is knight captures on c4, and that's the only move in this position that gives you anything. Because after b captures, you don't you dare take that, because you have only one winning move here, which is this bishop to c5. It gives you a little bit of the advantage, because here after e3 check, now you play king to g1, only move here. Again, king to g1 is the only move. Now you go for queen captures on c3. If you go, I mean, I'm not saying that Maxime would play this, but what do you even do in this position? There is nothing. You cannot push this pawn. If you push this pawn, just bishop captures. This bishop is not doing that very much on the h6 square. Rook is already slicing off. I mean, you cannot push, you cannot go for a rook lift. All you can do is play some mating moves, and I don't think that's how Maxime likes to play. So if you try and grab this pawn, let me just show you one of the lines that could pursue. Queen caps on c4, and if you don't trade, you try to go back, then just this comes, that we have been discussing all the game long. And after king to h8, you play just bishop to d4. Your queen is gone. You cannot do anything. Yes, you can do that, but that's absolutely senseless. I mean, who would want to do that? And even after bishop captures, this captures, you can have that, and there are some mating ideas as well. So position is absolutely really, really bad for Maxime, but again, you have to find the right combination. And Gukesh is like down to 10 seconds on the clock. He plays bishop to f4, but it doesn't work. e3 check, king to g2, bishop captures, g captures, and here tables have turned like in any tal games, and all you have to do is just grab this piece and you'll be happy for life. But here Maxime goes for queen captures on f5, and it gives Gukesh a little glimmer of hope, because this is now a draw. And Gukesh finally finds the right move. He goes for knight captures on c4, but it could be a little bit late now. But here again, b captures, and now you have to go for queen captures on c4. That's the only move now, also guarding this, because you can play bishop captures now. But here comes this knight to g6, and there are a lot more ideas, but in this position d6 was played. But now just going for this king to f8. Obviously it opens up the attack. We have been discussing it so many times here. Queen to d4, but now just comes this knight caps on f4, and Maxime is now winning because king to g1, only move in this position. I think you had to play something like this here, or maybe something not that, but maybe I think something like this. But now comes knight to e2 check, and bishop captures, queen to f2 check, king to h1, and after queen to e1 check, king to g2, queen captures on e2, king to g3, queen to f2 check, king to g4, and now just going for queen to g2 check. And after king to f4, Maxime has to realize that this position is not a draw, this position is winning. What what I mean by that is, this is checkmate, this is checkmate, so you have to defend against that. You are currently defending against that, but not against that. So Maxime has to find a way to defend against that. And if you're thinking about this correctly, then you have to find queen to h2. Maxime had 30 seconds on the clock. He can calculate an entire game in 30 seconds. So obviously he can do this, but I think he was not able to find this move, because there is that only just one explanation. He was not able to find all of these lines, because otherwise he would have calculated and he would have played it. Because here after king to g4, you have to find this rook to e5. This rook to e5 is the only winning move in this position. You again cut the queen off, and there is nothing. If you play d7 trying to queen and also go for mate, you're just getting mated yourself. Queen to you play this very nice h5 check, and now what do? King moves, queen to f2 is actually checkmate. And let's say after this queen comes in, you realize that this is getting checkmated, and you go for lines like these, like queen captures, and maybe not d7 but just queen captures. And after queen captures, you think maybe you're just promoting after this, but you're not, because there is a line, very very beautiful line: queen to e6 check, king to f4, queen to f6 check, king captures, king to e7, c4, and now just going for this check. And slowly, you're just gonna get the king trapped and get that rook, and the game will be completely winning. So all of this still in the position, but again after king to f4, queen to f2 check was played, and just Maxime was repeating moves. Suddenly Gukesh decided to go for the win with 5 seconds on the clock. Maxime has 26 seconds. He goes for queen to f3. His position is still better: king to g5, queen to g3, and he's just trying to go for a repetition here. But instead, what he had to find was again queen to h3 check, because after king to g5, I mean, you can pause this game, you pause this moment, you can analyze this moment forever, and it's gonna take you a while to understand why this wins. There's only one move that wins the game, and it's not the one that you would think, because here you can see that this check, king goes here, and maybe that is the idea. No, you have to find queen to h3, king to g5, and now play h6 defending that pawn. Because here after king to g6, you play queen to g3 check, give up the pawn, force the king to the back rank, king captures, rook to e6 check, king to h5, and queen to g6 is the idea. Because king moves back, now you have this, and your position absolutely crumbles. It's the same thing now, and the game is lost. Because this is also important, because you cannot push because king captures, and now that's how you lose the game. So Maxime had to find all of this. Very difficult to find it with like 17 seconds on the clock, but I mean, he's Maxime, he can do this. But here after king to g5, just queen to g2, king to f5, and here the game ended in a draw. This was like one of the best games. You could analyze this game for ages, man. This is really brilliant game. And yeah, absolutely fantastic game this was. And Gukesh was winning. Gukesh should have won this, but I think he blundered in time pressure. I mean, it happens, it's a blitz game. I mean, you're not going to find everything. He was supposed to win this game, and he played spectacularly, but that tal move was really brilliant. That poker move, I mean, when you have to find it out, it's just very difficult to find out. When you're attacking, it's just very difficult to find out sometimes the very right defense, and I think that's what happened to Gukesh. But I mean, just kudos to Gukesh for holding this to a draw. It's absolutely spectacular. So yeah, thank you all for watching. I'll be coming back with games like these, so stay tuned to the channel, subscribe to the channel, and I will be seeing you guys with the very amazing next game similar to this, and hopefully soon.